And since people are dragging me for supposedly being on the list, which is no fault of mine, by the way. Now, I'm going to bring up the fact.
And it's this. Release the damn files and release them now. Release everything.
But if this does not implicate Donald Trump, why wouldn't you say release everything? They absolutely have to show us what they're all hiding. If there's nothing to hide, release it all.
But all of that information is out there. Why not just put it to rest and say, release the list?
Because, you know, they should just say, listen, this is what fake list.
Yeah.
And I'm on it.
So you were on the island?
I was, apparently, I don't know. They said I was on the island. They said, I'm like, I don't go anywhere.
If the story was about a bus, maybe.
But it's like, you know, so I'm just going to say, you know, and there's been a lot of stuff recently. I don't know what I've done to anybody, but apparently there are a lot of these kind of sites that are, what do you call them? They're
parody or
they're satire sites.
Oh.
But people don't realize that they can be harmful. Turn me into... I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
I was not only too old, but it was at a time, you know, where this is just not... You used to have facts before you said stuff.
But Trump is on the list 38,000 times.
Well, I can't speak to him, but I'm speaking about me because I'm getting dragged. People actually believe that I was with him. It's like, honey.
Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on.
Recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public. Oh, I can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen series of the video.
Okay.
You can verify that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Hollywood scandals usually fade after a few headlines, but this one is spiraling into something far bigger than anyone expected. What started as backlash over Whoopi Goldberg's name appearing in documents connected to Jeffrey Epstein has now exploded into a situation that could shake the entertainment industry. Because instead of quietly defending herself, Whoopi is allegedly fighting back, and the name she's dragging into the spotlight might be the last one anyone expected. According to rumors now circulating online, she's claiming that one of the most powerful figures in music wasn't just watching the industry from the sidelines, but may have been controlling it. We're talking about Beyoncé. And the wildest part of the story, Whoopi allegedly says there are tapes, the kind of tapes that could supposedly expose celebrities, destroy reputations overnight, and explain some of the strangest moments in Hollywood history. If even a fraction of this is true, it would completely change the way people see power inside the entertainment industry. The drama really started when newly released Epstein-related documents began circulating online again, and people started combing through the names mentioned in them. Among the celebrities being discussed was Whoopi Goldberg, which immediately triggered a storm across social media. Fans, critics, and commentators all began asking the same question. Why was her name there in the first place? The conversation escalated quickly because Whoopi wasn't just another celebrity quietly tied to the situation. She had actually been one of the public figures demanding that the Epstein list be released. On multiple episodes of The View, she and her co-hosts argued that the public deserved full transparency. They insisted that if powerful people had been connected to Epstein's circle, the truth should be made public so everyone could see it for themselves. At the time, those statements were praised by many viewers who believed the show was pushing for accountability. But the moment Whoopi's own name started circulating in connection with the files, the narrative suddenly shifted. Social media lit up with accusations, speculation, and endless debates about what the documents actually meant. Critics pointed out the irony almost immediately. The same person who had publicly demanded the release of the Epstein files was now facing questions about her own appearance inside those records. As the pressure grew, reports began circulating that the controversy had created serious tension behind the scenes at The View. Discussions about her role on the show intensified, and before long, the situation escalated into a suspension that only fueled the conversation further. Online commentators began digging even deeper into the documents, looking for anything that could explain why her name had appeared at all. That's when a specific detail from the files started gaining attention. According to records that circulated online, there was mention of a request involving Epstein's private plane for a trip from the United States to Monaco. The explanation connected to the request claimed that it had been part of a travel arrangement that ultimately never happened. Supporters argued that this detail actually proved nothing and that plenty of celebrities had crossed paths with Epstein's network without knowing the full extent of his crimes. But critics weren't satisfied with that explanation. What they kept pointing out was the timeline. By the time this alleged request appeared in the records, Epstein had already been charged years earlier in 2006 with disturbing allegations involving minors. His reputation had already been widely questioned by that point, which made the idea of anyone requesting access to his plane raise serious eyebrows. Fans also started asking another question that seemed impossible to ignore. In a world like Hollywood, where private aviation is practically a routine convenience for wealthy celebrities, why would anyone rely on Epstein's aircraft in the first place? The entertainment industry is filled with charter companies and private jets available at a moment's notice. Critics argued that there would have been countless alternatives. That single detail, whether significant or not, became a major talking point online. Every discussion about Whoopi suddenly included debates about the plane request, the timeline, and whether people in Hollywood really understood who Epstein was during those years. As the backlash continued to build, Whoopi addressed the rumors publicly and pushed back hard against the narrative forming online. She insisted that people were twisting information and turning speculation into accusations. According to her, the internet had taken fragments of information and blown them into something far more dramatic than reality. She emphasized that she had never been part of Epstein's inner circle and dismissed the claims that suggested otherwise. But even with that response, the conversation didn't slow down. In fact, it only seemed to grow louder. Every statement, every clip from The View, and every line from the documents was being analyzed frame by commentators and online investigators. And that's when the story took a completely unexpected turn. Instead of staying on the defensive and simply denying the accusations, Whoopi allegedly decided to flip the entire narrative. According to whispers spreading across social media and entertainment blogs, she began hinting that the conversation around Epstein had barely scratched the surface of what really goes on in Hollywood. Rather than focusing on clearing her own name, the rumors claim she started pointing toward a much bigger figure in the entertainment industry, someone whose influence stretches across music, film, fashion, and business. The idea was shocking enough to immediately grab attention, because the name being mentioned wasn't just any celebrity. It was Beyoncé. For years, Beyoncé has been widely respected as one of the most successful and influential artists in modern music. Her career spans decades, her fan base is global, and her brand extends far beyond music into fashion, film, and business ventures. But alongside that admiration, there have always been whispers within entertainment circles about the level of influence she holds behind the scenes. Industry insiders have occasionally hinted that her power goes far beyond chart positions or award wins. Some have suggested that her connections, alliances, and business network give her a level of control that most celebrities could never imagine. Now, according to the rumors linked to this growing scandal, Whoopi is allegedly claiming that Beyoncé's influence may have extended even further than people realized. The story being whispered online suggests that Beyoncé wasn't just another powerful star in Hollywood. She may have been someone capable of shaping careers, influencing industry decisions, and quietly steering narratives behind the scenes. Some commentators have even pointed to strange moments over the years that suddenly seem different when viewed through that lens. Award show speeches where celebrities seemed unusually emotional when praising her. Artists who disappeared from the spotlight after rumored conflicts. Projects that collapsed overnight with little explanation. None of these moments ever proved anything on their own. But in the middle of this unfolding controversy, people online began connecting dots and revisiting old stories with fresh curiosity. Supporters of Beyoncé dismissed the rumors as nothing more than internet conspiracy theories fueled by gossip and speculation. Critics, however, argued that Hollywood has always been a place where power operates quietly behind the scenes. The idea that certain figures hold enormous influence isn't exactly shocking in an industry built on relationships, alliances, and reputation. What makes the current situation so explosive is the claim that Whoopi may have more than just speculation. According to the most dramatic version of the rumor, she allegedly hinted that there are recordings, tapes that could expose private moments involving powerful people in the entertainment world. The suggestion alone has been enough to send social media into a frenzy. If such recordings actually existed, they could theoretically explain why certain celebrities appear untouchable while others seem to vanish from the spotlight overnight. Right now, none of these claims have been confirmed, and much of the conversation is driven by speculation spreading across the internet. But the story has already taken on a life of its own. What started as questions about one name appearing in Epstein-related documents has transformed into a massive debate about influence, power, and secrets inside Hollywood. And if the rumors about Whoopi's alleged counterattack continue spreading, the conversation might be far from over. Because when accusations this explosive start circulating in an industry built on reputation, the fallout rarely stops with just one headline.